It all starts when Goku and Chi-Chi both get on the Nimbus Cloud. Kami comes out rushing and asks Goku to become the next guardian of Earth. Goku at first wants to decline, but then he thinks about it. He knows that the lookout will basically become his permanent residence, and judging by the fact that he can become a Earth's guardian means he can train and he can hang out with his wife uninterrupted. So with that, Goku accepts the position of the Earth's guardian, much to Chi-Chi's dismay. Kami is quite grateful that this is happening, but he has a much darker secret that he wants to take to his grave. Literally. Kami in his head is planning to get rid of Piccolo by killing himself so that Goku doesn't have any burdens on his chest. But Goku is clueless. So with it, Kami starts training Goku all the secrets that he has to know, including all the rituals and all the magic that he needs to become the Earth's guardian. Basically, a half Namekian. Setting that plan aside, Kami starts training Goku on how to become the Earth's guardian, and the first order of business is to teach Goku how to create Dragon Balls. Now for a Namekian, that would be a straightforward process if it didn't need to resort to using a special type of ki, which is Dragon Ki, which in this case has the power to reanimate or create a whole nother being that can grant wishes from just a statue. And judging by the fact that Goku doesn't have that type of ki, Kami has to teach it to him. To Kami, the easiest solution is to get all 7 of Kami's Dragon Balls inside of the hyperbolic time chamber along with a dragon statue and see if Goku can actually generate a dragon from just feeling the already existing Dragon Balls. Goku feels this is gonna be kind of a long procedure, but still does it. Chi-Chi is gonna have to be left alone on the lookout with Kami as Goku goes in the time chamber for the second time now and sees if he can actually summon the Dragon Balls. But first, they do need those said Dragon Balls. Goku is almost about to go to get Bulma to trace the Dragon Balls, but Kami says there's actually a second set of Dragon Balls that is not supposed to be summoned at all. But since the point of this whole procedure is not to summon a dragon, but to actually create it, Kami allows those Dragon Balls to come with him in the time chamber. With the Dragon Balls and the statue all fully prepared, Goku goes with them into the hyperbolic time chamber and goes to train. In the time chamber, the first thing that Goku is trying to unveil is how to sense the Dragon Balls, how to sense the ki that he's never felt before. He's already sensed ki before, but not the ki that is unknown to him. So the first thing that he tries to do is try and somehow get the signature of the Dragon Ball's ki so that he could apply it and summon his own dragon. He decides to strap all 7 of the Dragon Balls around his waist and starts training, particularly training to get his ki to match the ones from the Dragon Balls. The point of this training is to get the ki from his hands to match the ki from the Dragon Balls, in hopes that if he gets it right, he can summon his own dragon. The process doesn't last long at all. Goku gets the hang of it, and in no time, Goku gets it just right, and he goes back to the dragon statue to try and somehow get it to reanimate itself. So just like how Kami taught him, he places his 2 hands on the statue and begins chanting the words of Namekian right in front of it. It starts glowing white and starting to draw Goku's energy, but in no time, he manages to summon a dragon. Goku is in full ecstatic mode, but there's one caveat in this whole situation. The Dragon Balls spread out through the entire time chamber, and he cannot really help it. So, with the whole thing done, Goku comes out of the time chamber with the 7 Black Star Dragon Balls, and tells Kami that the deed is done, and that he can now finally summon a dragon. Kami is ecstatic, and telling him that's all he needs to do to become the Earth's guardian. But Kami also needs to teach him how to move the lookout and how to guard the said Dragon Balls he used to get his power. For the lookout, it's not really a big deal. He just needs to have enough power so that he can move it efficiently. Considering that Goku can already bench press a whole planet, it's not really a big issue. But when it comes to the Black Star Dragon Balls, Kami tells him that in no matter what the circumstances are, not to use them and not to let anyone else use them. as once they're activated, they will not scatter across the Earth but the entire galaxy, and the only way to get them is to travel the entire galaxy. If they are not collected within a year, the Earth is gonna become a red dwarf and explode. Goku understands and says that there might be a way to hide them permanently. Kami, now satisfied, tells Goku to go and kill Piccolo. Goku berates him, saying that killing Piccolo will kill him, but that was Kami's plan all along, saying that in order to become the next Earth's guardian, an old guardian has to die, and the easiest way to do that is to kill Piccolo. Goku gets a little bit emotional, seeing that Kami trained him basically since he was a kid. But since shit hit the fan, Goku has to do it. So Goku descends down to kill Piccolo once and for all. He locates Piccolo and decides to battle him. At first, he decides to just fight him, not to kill him. So they spar for a little bit until Goku tells Piccolo that in order to become the Earth's next guardian, he has to kill him. Piccolo is really mad and doesn't want that to happen, so he fights for his life. Goku, however, is quite a good bit more powerful than Piccolo, and Goku kills off Piccolo pretty instantly. Goku starts lamenting on Kami's memories and goes back up to the lookout to thank him and say goodbye. But by the time he comes back, Kami is gone and he sees Mr. Piccolo pretty much dying in a corner crying. With nothing better to do, and with Dragon Balls to resuscitate, Goku goes to the old statue of Shenron and starts the same process as he did in the time chamber. In pretty much no time, Shenron is back to life, and the Dragon Balls, all 7 of them, have become yet again. Chi-Chi hugs Goku, and Goku says that now they will have a nice and comfortable life. But there's one more thing left to do. Goku descends down back to Earth and visits Bulma, and tells her that he is now Earth's guardian, and if she ever needs anything from him, that she will know where to find him. Krillin and Yamcha also came by and said hi to Goku, only to be met with tears of Goku's and saying that he's now Earth's guardian, and that his residence is the lookout. Yamcha and Krillin are a little bit weirded out by the fact, saying that he can just visit them or vice versa. Goku realizes that, and the gang call him stupid. With that, Goku starts his new life as the Earth's guardian. About 4.5 years later, Goku and Chi-Chi are seen on the lookout. Mr. Popo is cooking up a feast for Goku, while the couple is hanging out with their son Gohan, who at this point is about 2.5 years old. In those 4.5 years, a lot of things have changed. Goku has moved the lookout to just above the Kame house, and he also made the time chamber have unlimited usage so that he could go and train up, or to just get away from his wife and train on his own. But aside from that, he's living a comfortable life. But not all things will be the same, as someone far away in the cosmos knows where his brother is, and it's only a matter of time before he comes. With that, he's commanded by the other two to go and recruit his brother with the intention of conquering the entire universe. Krillin and Master Roshi come to check up on Goku since he hasn't really visited them in a long time, and Goku welcomes them with open arms. Goku starts yapping about the peace on the planet and wants to have something happen. Krillin is confused, asking why does Goku want trouble on Earth. Goku simply replies that he has a hunch that something might happen. Maybe not right now, but in the close future, someone will arrive. Krillin is taken aback by this and doesn't really know how to answer that, but Yamcha says that he's just delusional. Goku agrees, but doesn't really let that get out of his head. While all in the meantime, Raditz is coming to Earth on the request of Nappa and Vegeta. Raditz lands on Earth and starts looking for the highest power level he can get. He finds one and goes to it. However, his flight is stopped mid-air and he starts falling down to the ground. He doesn't know why, but attempts to do it anyways. Goku notices that and goes to check up on there. He sees a random long-haired man with weird armor coming his way. He notices that he looks quite similar, but then again, he's not here for business. Goku assumes that he's probably here for blood. Nevertheless, Goku allows him on the lookout. Raditz lands on the lookout and looks at Goku. Then he speaks up.
Kakarot, have you forgotten what to do?
Do what?
Oh my god, you dumbass. You were supposed to delete this planet. You were supposed to conquer it. What happened to you? Have you lost your mind?
Who are you? Why are you here on this planet?
Kakarot, I'm your brother, Raditz.
My brother? Goku is baffled to know that the guy right in front of him is his brother.
Kakarot, have you suffered an injury to the head?
Yeah, as a kid?
You fool! How could you? You were supposed to take this planet from the Earthlings' hands.
I'm here to protect it. I'm the one who's in charge of the Dragon Balls. If you have any problems with me, you should leave.
Kakarot, you're here to protect this planet?
Yeah, I did it already plenty of times, and I'll do it again.
How dumb can you be, Kakarot?
Raditz is here to recruit his brother to go and conquer the world and the entire universe with boats along Nappa and Vegeta. Raditz then asks Goku to go and fight him, to see where he stands, to see if his power is as good as his muscles. Goku accepts that challenge, being a Saiyan. And with no going back, both Goku and Raditz begin the battle. As they're battling on the lookout, they have much to destroy, but Goku tells Raditz not to destroy anything, as this is basically a sacred place. Raditz doesn't really care, but listens to Kakarot's word. The battle starts, and Raditz is quite impressed that Goku could actually keep up with him. However, Raditz, since he cannot really control his power, he goes in with full force. Goku realizes that Raditz cannot control his ki, so he uses that to his advantage. He starts pummeling Raditz by flaring his ki every so often, so that he can throw effective but fast punches. Raditz is quite perplexed by this and doesn't know what to do, so he throws a double sundae at Kakarot. Kakarot easily deflects it and starts charging a Kamehameha of his own. Since Raditz is much faster than Goku at this point, he just dodges the Kamehameha and goes for a melee attack. Raditz starts attacking Goku relentlessly, but Goku knows how to sense ki and just dodges by his senses. Goku makes that obvious by closing his eyes mid-battle, while Raditz is confused. Raditz stops the fight and comes to a standstill, asking Goku how does he do that. Goku doesn't want to spoil the secret and just says that he's magic. Even though that he's not wrong, he tells Raditz that he has to do a lot of homework before he goes to challenge him. That pisses off Raditz, and Raditz goes for another melee attack to try and get him off guard so that he can throw a double sundae yet again, right point blank at his face. Goku realizes that, sensing the malice in Raditz's ki, and goes for the after image, which confuses Raditz. Raditz, however, does see that Goku is moving at intense speeds, even for him. As hard as he tries, he cannot get a hold of Goku. After a couple of failed attempts, he thinks that he finally got the right one, but Goku is actually right up in the air, charging his Kamehameha as he throws it at Raditz. Raditz's plan for a blast didn't work, but Goku's sure did, and he gets hit by Goku, sending him flying down off the lookout. Raditz sees that Goku is quite powerful, and that he will sure serve the right purpose in Vegeta's team. Raditz then asks Goku to stop the fight, and that he's more than capable to join his team. But Goku doesn't want to join any teams. He's here to be the guardian of Earth and the owner of the Dragon Balls. So he tells that to Raditz. Raditz is confused, doesn't know what the Dragon Balls are, so Goku tells him, without knowing that everything that he just said is going straight to Vegeta and Nappa. Goku tells Raditz that control of the galaxy isn't the first thing that he should be worrying about, as there's plenty of other people that can do the same job that Vegeta and Nappa, as he says, can be recruited for. And even setting that aside, Goku doesn't know what kind of people Nappa and Vegeta are. Raditz says that they're Saiyans, all of them. Goku is surprised to hear that he's a Saiyan, but doesn't want to succumb to it, even though that could be the truth. Raditz tells him about everything that the Saiyans are, where they are from, and what happened to their planet, also who they were serving before that. He goes in to tell the story about their father and their mother, that being Bardock and Gine, and also to tell the stories about Prince Vegeta and his accomplice Nappa. Goku takes it all in, then changes the subject entirely, saying that those people are not to be trusted one bit, as they can turn their back on him at any time and any place, to just leave him for dead. Raditz, while listening to that, puts the two and two together and realizes that all they've done to him is basically bullying, that they didn't want him nor tolerated him. Raditz now gets to make a judgment call, to leave Earth and get killed by Prince Vegeta, or stay on Earth and await the arrival of Prince Vegeta and Nappa along with Goku. Raditz then decides to stay at Earth and be with Goku to tell him everything about Prince Vegeta, but first he tells him that they're gonna be coming in about a year, so they should better prepare, while smacking the scouter to the ground and smashing it with his foot. Goku is now a little bit scared about the whole situation, but decides to take it in. He then tells Mr. Popo to go and collect everyone on Earth, the entire Z-Force, to go up on the lookout. Mr. Popo asks why, but Goku urges him enough so that he goes without question. In no time, Yamcha, Krillin, Roshi, Tien, Chaozu, and everyone else joins up. Goku introduces everyone to his brother Raditz, and Raditz continues to say how Prince Vegeta and Nappa are coming to Earth and they are here for business. He also elaborates that they are Saiyans, much like him and Kakarot. Krillin asks what's a Saiyan, and Raditz goes into detail on what they are and pretty much said everything that he told Goku. So right now, they're in a pickle on whether to train or to just die along. But Raditz doesn't want to quit. Raditz at this point doesn't want to die, and neither does Goku, so they're brainstorming as to how and where they will train up. Raditz suggests that they need to train for about a year and a half constantly until they're ready. However, Goku remembers Kami going someplace and then coming back, saying that he went to the other world. Raditz is quite amused, but says that this is a dumb idea. However, Goku knows exactly who to talk to. So in the meantime, Raditz is left with Krillin, Yamcha, and the others to train up with him, while Goku is going to visit fortune teller Baba. Goku knows that she can revive someone at least for 24 hours, and since Kami said that there are some deities up there, Goku thinks there might be someone who can help him train up, both him and Raditz. And so with that, he asks fortune teller Baba to give him a lift to the other world, as he needs to talk to someone. Fortune teller Baba agrees and takes Goku along. Over there, Goku meets King Yemma, and King Yemma is quite surprised that Goku came along, congratulating him on the spot as the Earth's guardian. Goku expresses his gratitude, but then moves on to more important bits, how he needs to train up, and if there's one place that he will be able to train properly, is here. King Yemma receives his request and then mentions King Kai. King Kai is basically like a deity that lives on a small little planet at the end of Snake Way. He possesses a skill known as Kaioken, which not a lot of people know about. Goku is pleased with the answer and then goes back with fortune teller Baba. And then back at the lookout, Goku tells Raditz everything about his trip. He says that he found someone called King Kai and that they may be able to train over at his place. Raditz is ecstatic, but doesn't know the whole point of going there. Goku says there is a secret technique called the Kaioken, which is only unique to the Kais. Raditz is quite intrigued, so he goes along with the plan. As for the other Z fighters, Goku tells them that there is a time chamber and that they can use it so that they could train up. Mr. Popo will guide them while they're training. With all that commotion, Goku and Raditz visit fortune teller Baba and then they go back to the other world. Over there, Goku asks King Yemma to give him directions, and the Snake Way is literally right behind him. So Goku and Raditz start their journey. As they're quite a bit more powerful, they start the journey pretty fast, as they can both fly. That means that on the way, they don't encounter the Snake Queen, which means the travel is quite smooth. They get there in about 3 months, and once they land on a planet, they notice that the gravity is much higher. More specifically Goku, who never experienced such gravity before, compared to Raditz, who's been basically living on the planet with the same gravity. They look around but they cannot find King Kai until he randomly appears behind them. Goku and Raditz are startled, but then they see King Kai in his true form. They're amazed that it's a fat guy, but then King Kai says that not all gods are powerful and mighty and muscly, that they're sometimes just, basic. Goku and Raditz then ask King Kai to train them. However, King Kai doesn't want to train them just yet. First, they have to make him laugh. To Raditz, it's a piece of cake. So, Raditz makes King Kai cry out of laughter. Goku picks that up and combines Raditz's jokes with some of his own. And without a sweat, Goku's jokes also work. With that, they are now King Kai's disciples. The first thing they have to do is to catch the monkey, which for Raditz is quite easy. But for Goku, it is quite hard for him, since he's not really used to that kind of gravity. From there, all the training with Goku and Raditz go the same, and the squad over at the lookout trains pretty much the same way as they do in canon, just in a time chamber. Before long, a year and a half passes, and there is major improvement in the power of theirs. They can now use Kaioken with almost no issue, and even manage to go up to Kaioken times 3, just because they train together, as they're Saiyans, and Saiyans always grow best together. With nothing better to do, Goku and Raditz go back to the lookout. Fortune teller Baba was there to pick them up, and after a short time, they come back to Earth. Goku and Raditz thank Fortune teller Baba, and then they go back to the lookout. On the lookout, Tien, Krillin, Chaozu, and everyone else were buffed up to the point where they could take on both Goku and Raditz before they left to King Kai. But when it comes to Goku and Raditz, they have just enough power to take both Vegeta and Nappa on. So at this point, the only thing left is to wait for Vegeta and Nappa. The Z fighters are advised not to intervene unless both Goku and Raditz are down. The Z fighters agree, and then the waiting game starts. After a short time, Vegeta and Nappa crash on Earth in the outskirts of the city. Goku and Raditz are notified and they go to visit the landing site. They visit Vegeta and Nappa, and Goku sees just how different those two are from his brother. Vegeta is cocky and Nappa is trying to be cocky. Raditz then prepares for battle, and so does Goku, while Vegeta and Nappa are casually off to the side. Nappa springs into battle and is very confident he can defeat them both. However, Goku and Raditz make quick work of Nappa, to the point where the spinal injury happens pretty much instantly. Vegeta sees that they have grown quite considerably, and then he shoots Nappa into the air and destroys him rather quickly. Vegeta then applauds Raditz for getting so much stronger and asks him to get back on the team, along with Kakarot. Raditz declines the offer, and Goku says his usual line about poor job security. Vegeta gets super angry and they start the battle. Both Goku and Raditz start in their Kaioken and are flooring Vegeta, while Vegeta is on the ground pleading for mercy. However, the second he's left alone from them, he shoots up a giant powerball into the sky and transforms into a great ape. However, Raditz notices this and goes great ape as well. But considering that Raditz cannot use his Kaioken in his Ozaru form, he's forced to use his Ozaru form only, while Goku is on the ground without tail and without his Ozaru using Kaioken times 4. The battle is intense, with Raditz throwing heavy punches and Goku going for the slick attacks. Slowly but surely, they get the edge on the prince and eventually cut his tail off, resulting in Vegeta going back to base. Vegeta is at this point heavily injured, but that doesn't stop him. He tries his best to throw a Galick Gun, but his wounds have heavily depleted his energy, which means the Galick Gun is considerably weaker. Goku uses that to his advantage and throws his Kamehameha at him. Goku at this point uses his normal Kaioken and Vegeta is trying hard, trying to gain advantage over Goku. Raditz, however, breaks up the wave battle and kicks Vegeta down to the ground next to his space pod. Raditz tells Vegeta not to come back and to just go. Vegeta is angry and knows that he will get his revenge someday, but not today, and just goes into his space pod and flies away. Goku and Raditz have saved the Earth from the Saiyans, and the gang is there to congratulate them. Goku thanks Raditz for letting him know and staying with him, knowing that he has a good heart. Raditz doesn't want to admit it, saying that he has destroyed countless planets just because of his own selfless desire. However, Goku tells him that the desire was not due to him, but due to the influence of other Saiyans who were way worse than him. So at this point, Raditz thanks Goku for getting him out of the circle. Just as they're about to go home, Raditz notices Nappa's scouter, and he picks it up and listens in. He hears Frieza saying that he's going to planet Namek to gain control of their Dragon Balls, so that he could wish for immortality. Goku picks it up, and now, after a gruesome battle, Vegeta had to flee back as to not die. With Vegeta gone and both Goku and Raditz safe, the gang knows that he's either gonna come back or stay away for good. But one thing is uncertain. Since Raditz has been introduced to the idea of the Dragon Balls, he knows what they are in concept. So with that, he knows that Frieza is going to go wish for immortality from Nappa's scouter. So with that, they start devising the plan to stop Frieza. But judging the fact that Vegeta might be there too, they have to prepare for him too. And so, Bulma is contacted for a quick discussion. With Bulma there, Goku and Raditz start planning about a ship that can get both of them to planet Namek, as they have a mission to do there. Raditz explains the mission and Bulma goes absolutely ballistic and tells Goku that he's the Earth's guardian, and if he dies, the Dragon Balls disappear as well. Goku doesn't really care and it intrigues Raditz, wondering how can his brother risk his life for basically anything, while he can't. Raditz's answer to that question was delivered by Bulma, when she said that he always seeks the challenge, no matter how great it is. With that, Bulma said she can work with her father to get the ship up and running within a year or so. Raditz is livid, since they need to go as soon as possible, but Bulma knows that she can't do it as quick due to the lack of technology. Goku then says that Bulma is like Omega Genius and that she can use the parts of their pods to create the ultimate ship. Bulma says she can manage with the pods. Raditz then starts complaining about gravity on this planet and asks if they can make something like a gravity machine inside of the ship itself. Bulma says he's asking for too much, but she thinks she can, as she has been experimenting a lot with gravity manipulation. So the gang starts preparing. In the meantime, Goku and Raditz go train up in a time chamber, while Bulma and Dr. Briefs are building a spaceship. After just a month, Bulma says that the ship is ready to sail and both Goku and Raditz are all ready. They haven't really gotten that much more powerful, but they are in the 200k range or so. Either way, they're ready to go. Goku has asked Koring to save a couple dozen sensu beans to go, as they'll need all the power they can get, judging from the fact that Frieza is really powerful. That done, they take the sensu, they take the ship, and go towards planet Namek. Prior to the completion of the ship, Raditz has tuned in on the radio from Nappa's scouter and listened in and so far they have only 5 Dragon Balls out of 7, so they only have very limited time before they get all 7 and the wish is made. Goku says that they have their own language, so it could take a while. Combined with Raditz's words how Frieza kills anyone in the way, Frieza's wish might just be impossible. Regardless, they are now coasting through the space. Goku and Raditz start the training right away, and so far, so good. They start training at 10 times normal gravity. Since Raditz is already used to it, Goku needs a little bit of more tuning in. So Raditz gets him up to speed, and after a few days, they begin with 20 times normal gravity. 20 times proved more of a challenge, as they need to exert a lot more energy to keep afloat and also train up. Goku and Raditz started training right away, and they started with sparring. They got tired and then they went back to more conventional training. They started slagging weights and whatnot before turning into calisthenics, and then the 20 times normal gravity seemed relatively normal. So they stepped it up to 30 and just kept it up to 100 until they are ready. 100 Gs came around, and that was basically a physical task for both Goku and Raditz. However, they had to speed things up, as they will get on Namek in less than 2 weeks. So far you've seen, nothing has really changed, apart from Goku having an actual teammate to spar with. And after traveling, they finally arrive on Namek. Since both of them have been training constantly, their power level have spiked, and they are now both on the level of first form Frieza. They step out of the ship, and Goku is amazed to see another world. Meanwhile, Raditz isn't really too amazed. He's been on so many planets, he can't even keep track of so many. Setting that aside, they have a much bigger problem. They haven't really devised any plan since they've been training so hard, and so Goku thinks of getting the rest of the 2 Dragon Balls that are left and then hide them somewhere. Raditz wants a little bit more action since they're stronger, and he would like to take all 5 Dragon Balls away from Frieza, so that they have 5 and he has 2. Goku says it doesn't really matter since they can just take 2 and he wouldn't be able to summon Shenron, or whatever their dragon may be called. Raditz agrees with Goku's idea and runs by it, so they go and locate the 2 Dragon Balls. Bulma gave them the Dragon Radar so they can go and locate the Dragon Balls fast and efficiently. After coasting for a while, the Dragon Radar notices 5 Dragon Balls in the same spot, as well as 2 Dragon Balls scattered about and a lot of power levels scattered around 1 Dragon Ball. They knew they were about to get the 6th, so Goku suggests they need to get the 7th Dragon Ball, because even though it's 1 Dragon Ball, they won't be able to summon a dragon even though it's 1. And so Raditz leads the way to the very last Dragon Ball that the Frieza Force is missing, so that they can take it and hide it. After a while, they come across a village and they land there. The Namekians are on extremely high guard, but Goku introduces himself and his brother, as well as their intentions. The Namekians, especially the Dragon Clan, notice Goku's ki and wondering if he can spawn his own dragon. Goku confirms that, saying that their Earth's guardian died, so Goku had to take the place. And now, he's the one on who the Dragon Balls are bound to. The Namekians are quite surprised that someone who is not Namekian can spawn in a dragon. Raditz, however, skips the niceties and gets on to the point, saying that the Dragon Ball they have is at very high risk and they need to take it so that they can hide it from Frieza. The Namekians agree, and so Goku takes the Dragon Ball. The Namekians thank them, and then Goku and Raditz get on their merry way. But as they're about to leave, Vegeta flies down and greets both of them, saying that now he's in possession of 5 Dragon Balls and he only needs 2 more to get immortality. Raditz is livid that Vegeta actually got back to Frieza to serve him, but Vegeta doesn't care about Frieza at all. He just wants his wish, and for the wish, he needs the Dragon Balls. So, he starts berating the Saiyans to give the Dragon Ball to him, and that he will deal with the Frieza Force later. Goku and Raditz look at each other and just say no at the same tone. Vegeta is mad and starts a battle. Vegeta is so underpowered in this battle because both Goku and Vegeta are both pretty much on par with Frieza. So Vegeta loses pretty badly and then is forced to join the team. Vegeta hates that but still joins up. So now the Dragon Ball count that they had went up from 1 to 6. And now they can hide all 6 Dragon Balls, but all meanwhile not let Vegeta get a hold of them, even though they get all 7. Nappa's counter that Raditz had suddenly starts beeping, kinda like an alarming tone. Raditz gets pissed and just throws it in the ground and breaks it in half, saying that now that Vegeta has stolen all the Dragon Balls, that they are now at high risk, and that they should go out of there as soon as possible. Vegeta wants a fight, but then they see the Frieza Force coming up from behind. Vegeta is a little bit scared, but Goku and Raditz prepare for battle and tell Vegeta to take the Dragon Ball and get the fuck out of here, as they take care of business. Vegeta wants to stay, but he has no chance against the Ginyu Force, so he leaves it to Goku and Raditz. The Ginyu Force lands, and then Jace asks for the location of the stolen Dragon Balls. Not even Goku and Raditz know that, so they say so. They just say that Vegeta stolen them, but Ginyu doesn't buy it and starts a battle with the two Saiyans. With air and opportunity not holding them back anymore, Ginyu Force starts the battle with Goku and Raditz. Goku and Raditz both go into their Kaioken and starts trashing Recoome and Jace. Jace is trying to hold up, but Goku doesn't give him any slack. Meanwhile, Raditz is handling Recoome pretty well, considering that Kaioken also increases speed, so Recoome is at a disadvantage. Recoome is trying hard, but Raditz doesn't give him any slack. Raditz is just pummeling Recoome to the ground, trying to get him to admit defeat by completely harassing him in front of the Ginyu Force and Frieza. Recoome starts charging, however Raditz knows exactly what Recoome is doing, so he tries to end him in one blow, which works. Then he goes over to Goldo and starts trashing him apart. Considering that Goldo can somehow manipulate time, Raditz at first does not know what he's supposed to do, but after a while he catches on and manages to kill off Goldo as well. Back to Goku and Jace. Jace is being handled pretty well, with Goku using his Kaioken to his advantage and confusing Jace, making him admit defeat. However, Ginyu doesn't want to stand for that, telling Jace to get the hell out of the way while he goes and takes on Goku. Jace doesn't want to quit just yet, as he has one more thing up his ass, which to him is a massive wave attack, but to Goku it's just child's play and Goku easily deflects it. Jace looks in horror as that blast is coming straight towards him from Goku's deflection, and with that, Jace is also gone. With 3 out of 5 Ginyu Force members gone, there is only Berter and Ginyu left. Berter claims that he's the fastest in the universe, and Raditz doesn't really want to buy it, but he gets confused when Berter starts chasing him. Raditz cannot really read the speed that Berter is going at, but manages to catch up and uses his ki sense to get Berter out of his shadow. Meanwhile, with Goku and Ginyu, Ginyu tries a body swap with Goku, which manages to succeed. So now, Ginyu is in Goku's body and vice versa. Since Ginyu's body wasn't damaged at all, Goku, in his body, can use all of his potential, managing to climb up to his 100k and then using Kaioken times 3 to completely pummel Ginyu in his own body. When Ginyu realizes that they're using sorcery of some kind, Ginyu manages to return back into his body. Back to Berter and Raditz. Berter is taking quite a pummeling now that Raditz has his eyes closed and is only sensing for Berter's ki. Berter is trying everything he can, but to no avail, as Raditz manages to kick him up the mountain and then blasting him out of existence. Now that Goku is in his own body and Ginyu is in his own body, Goku is a bit of worn out because he basically attacked himself, so he uses again his Kaioken times 3 on Ginyu and manages to pummel him into the ground. Ginyu tries his usual begging for mercy and whatnot, But then Raditz comes up and kills Ginyu right on spot, as Ginyu is the last one to perish out of the whole Ginyu Force. Now it's only Frieza remaining, and Frieza watched in horror as the Ginyu Force was wiped out of existence. Zarbon, considering that the Doria was killed by Vegeta, he already knows that these Saiyans are already too much for him, so he manages to flee. Meanwhile, Frieza is going to take on Goku and Raditz. Frieza starts off fairly simple in his first form and starts to gauge Goku's and Raditz's ki. He sees that they have grown quite a lot, so he manages to go into his second form, and that puts a little bit of a toll on their fighting, so that they have to use more power and of course more Kaioken. However, the more Kaioken they use, the more power they use, and also the more damaging it becomes for their bodies. However, they still manage to hold up to Frieza. Frieza then goes into his third form, which is his ugly form, and now Goku and Raditz have to go into their Kaioken times 10, even though that Goku cannot really withstand it because he's a bit damaged. However, Raditz manages to hold up his own. Going back to Zarbon, who is basically running away, he gets confronted by Vegeta, who managed to get Zenkai boost out of his last fight, and goes and challenges Zarbon. Zarbon thinks that the situation won't change, that he will win against Vegeta. However, Vegeta starts powering up and Zarbon's counter starts to beep. Somehow, this counter goes above 70,000 and Zarbon is mad pissed, but also scared for his life. He knows that he won't stand up, but then starts to plead to Vegeta, saying that if Vegeta spares him, that they can go and rule the universe together. Vegeta doesn't buy it, knowing that the Doria did the same shit, and knowing that Zarbon watched the planet's destruction along with the Doria and Frieza, he already knows that he's fucked. So Vegeta powers up completely and punishes Zarbon in such a way that not even his ugly form is managing. Zarbon is now dead. Vegeta, now fully satisfied, goes back to the fight with Frieza. Back to Frieza and the two Saiyans. The Saiyans are a bit struggling, considering that Goku is pretty much worn out and Raditz is supposed to carry on the entire battle. However, Vegeta comes just in the nick of time and does a sucker punch on Frieza. Vegeta turns back to Goku and saying that he will now take back his pride and that he will destroy Frieza. However, he's quickly humbled by Frieza himself, with Frieza throwing Vegeta into the ground. Goku and Raditz are standing there while Vegeta takes the beating of his lifetime, trying on strategizing on getting Frieza in the next attack. Goku starts thinking for a bit and then says to double the Kaioken. Raditz says he's completely crazy and that they're already using Kaioken times 10, but Goku tells Raditz to trust him. And so, after that short little break, Goku gets up and starts charging up to his fullest. Raditz watches on and tells Goku to stop. However, Goku is a bit stubborn, so he doesn't. Goku then cranks it up to Kaioken times 20 and then kicks Frieza off of Vegeta. Vegeta doesn't know how to show feelings, but is grateful that Goku came in clutch. Raditz then says fuck it and then does the Kaioken times 20 himself, and then gets into battle along with Goku. Before leaving, Raditz tells Vegeta to get the fuck out of the scene so that they can finish Frieza alone. Vegeta is mad but complies and gets out of the area. Meanwhile, Goku and Raditz are trying their best to succeed in fighting Frieza. However, it does not want to work as Frieza goes into his final form and charges up to 50% of his power. So now, both Goku and Raditz are at a disadvantage. Frieza then starts trashing Goku and Raditz inwards, outwards and upwards until they completely lose their Kaioken and succumb to their injuries. Goku, however, manages to do one more thing as an attempt to escape, which is a solar flare. He does the technique and then hides with Raditz behind the rocks, telling Raditz to hide his ki. Frieza is now confused, not knowing where the two Saiyans are or where Vegeta is either. He tries to scour around the area and even destroys a few rocks, but doesn't manage to find them. So he gets back to the ship and gets the hell out of there. Goku and Raditz then get out of the rubble and then go regroup with Vegeta. Now that they're all with Vegeta, Goku and Raditz are all battered and now they need a heal up. So they set up a camp far away from Frieza's ship. They manage to catch a dinosaur, cook it up, and then talk about their latest adventures. The next morning, Goku, Raditz, and Vegeta are all better, and the beating they got from Frieza really paid off. So now they gotta go get Frieza and challenge him yet again. So they get to his ship and then blow it up to hell. Frieza comes out and then all three Saiyans go into battle. Frieza gets confronted by all three Saiyans and they're all ready for battle. Frieza decides to taunt them, saying that they lost last time and that they will lose this time as well. Goku says that he's not here to lose, but here to avenge his own race. Vegeta gets his pride back and says the same, while Raditz doesn't say a word, he just prepares for battle and gets in his stance. Frieza realizes exactly what they're doing and so goes back to 50% of his power and then charges towards the Saiyans. Vegeta, having all of his pride, decides to go first and attacks Frieza. He manages to deal some damage, however it's not enough as Frieza introduces him to the ground. Vegeta doesn't want to lose though, so he gets right back up and gets back to the gang. Goku and Raditz both go into their ×20 Kaioken and then go for Frieza. Frieza doesn't know of the Zenkai boosts, so he just goes in, but then realizes that both Goku and Raditz teaming up are actually making a dent on him. So he takes a precaution and starts powering up just slightly to see where their ceiling is. Not long after, Frieza realizes that all three have a weakness, that they are all having to work together in order to defeat him. So the first to go is Vegeta. Frieza goes to Vegeta and starts pummeling him to the ground, while Goku and Raditz try to gain an advantage. Vegeta is trying his best, but Frieza doesn't want to let go and manages to mortally wound Vegeta. Raditz rushes in to save Vegeta, however, Frieza knocks Raditz down to the ground. Goku sees that and goes to help out. However, by the time the two get to Vegeta, he's already dead, as Frieza manages to ki him out of existence. Raditz is now in shock, saying that he could have protected Vegeta but didn't. He goes into his mind limbo and starts thinking of ways of how he could have helped Vegeta to get right back on his feet. However, Frieza doesn't give a shit and comes up to Raditz and punches him into a mountain. Goku then intervenes and starts battling Frieza, even though he knows he can't win alone. However, with the punch Raditz has gotten, he has gone back into reality and powers up his Kaioken all the way back to ×20 and goes after Frieza. However, this time he's very rageful, which manages to blind him. So Frieza used that to his advantage and starts pummeling Raditz and telling him to stop worrying about Vegeta as he's already dead, basically taunting him. And with that, Raditz's temper has spiked significantly, and so Frieza has found an opportunity to completely destroy Raditz by punching straight through him. Goku sees that and he's out of words, trying to process what's going on right now. Raditz falls down to the ground and weeps for Goku. Goku is standing there trying not to cry and pleads for Raditz to get up. However, for Raditz it's way too late, as he fades out of consciousness and dies. Goku is now the only one left alone with Frieza, and by himself he has absolutely no chance of winning. So he starts lamenting on everything he's done, on his past, and his rage started to spike. And after a short while, lightning starts surrounding Goku, with Frieza being there to see it. And after a bit of coping, Goku transforms into a Super Saiyan for the first time. So now it's a Saiyan of legend against Frieza. Frieza goes for an assault, however Goku manages to tank it and kick Frieza back, which damages Frieza big time. Frieza then starts powering up mid-battle and starts getting a dent on Goku. However, as Frieza is powering up, Goku is also powering up. And after a while, Goku stops the battle. He says that now that he's in a Super Saiyan form, he tells Frieza to go full power. Frieza takes it as a joke, but still goes 100%. Frieza then attacks Goku, and at first, he's getting pummeled. However, Goku starts adapting to Frieza's movements and starts blocking and eventually countering Frieza's attacks. And in no time, Frieza is left cornered. Goku tells him to leave this planet right now and never to come back again. Frieza doesn't want to listen and starts throwing punches out of rage, but it does no damage to Goku, as Goku either dodges or tanks the blows. Goku then catches one of Frieza's punches and manages to break his hand, whilst telling him that it would be a wise idea if he left. Frieza cannot really believe that he's losing, so he tries throwing a death bomb at Goku, which at first starts collapsing on Goku, but then Goku is seen exiting with it with his one hand holding the blast. Goku then throws the blast right back at him whilst throwing a Kamehameha at him at the same time. Frieza is struggling in this wave blast and Goku isn't trying to give up either, but eventually Frieza starts losing his power, so the blast starts getting closer to him, while Goku pushes his Kamehameha even more and manages to damage Frieza even more. With it, Frieza's pride is lost, and Goku is the sole winner. However, Frieza has one more trick up his sleeve, which is destroying the planet itself. So, without Goku knowing, Frieza starts a ki on the planet, and the planet starts collapsing in on itself. Frieza gives Goku 5 minutes, while Goku, in his feral rage, tells Frieza he has about 5 seconds. Then, Goku goes and completely obliterates Frieza out of existence. Now, Goku is left with a couple of choices. He has to escape the planet, but also save the Namekians and revive his Saiyan friends. However, he doesn't have much time, so with the little time he has left, he tries to find a ship, which is already halfway across the planet. So, he hastily flies there and tries to grab any Namekian there is there. Goku gets to the ship just in the nick of time and then escapes with 2 Namekians, his Saiyan friends, and himself. The planet explodes right before his very eyes while he's in space. Namek is now gone. Back on Earth, Goku introduces Bulma and everyone to the Namekians and also to Vegeta. For the most part at least, since both Vegeta and Raditz are dead. Goku then gets his own Dragon Balls and summons Shenron to revive Vegeta and Raditz. In no time, both of them come right back to life. Vegeta is wondering what the hell is going on, while Raditz says thank you to Goku. Raditz then asks who defeated Frieza, and Goku says it was him. Namekians confirming the whole story. Vegeta doesn't have any idea how Goku managed to defeat Frieza, but then Goku says he has transformed into a Super Saiyan that he was boasting all about. Vegeta is now mad and tells Goku that he will one day surpass him no matter what. Goku and Raditz laugh it off and then get sent on their merry way. About a year and a half later, Goku and Raditz are training up on the lookout, with Vegeta off planet. Gohan also joined in on a training session with Goku and Raditz, and all 3 of them are now sparring. All of a sudden, they sense a very high ki that is very close to them, so they go and investigate. Gohan is told to stay at the lookout, however, Gohan goes in with them. After a short flyby, Raditz pulls Goku into the rubble and tells his brother that this is King Cold, Frieza's father. Goku is now scared, wondering what is his father doing here. However, they sense a second ki going towards them. Landing there, there's a strange boy that confronts King Cold. He instructs King Cold not to come back to the planet again or else he will be destroyed. King Cold laughs it off, however, the boy knows exactly what he's doing and then starts powering up into a Super Saiyan, then defeating King Cold and his goons in one simple movement. Goku and Raditz come out and they see the kid just standing there, going back to his base form. The kid then notices them and goes up to them. He introduces himself as Trunks and then goes into the story how he's from the future and in 3 years, powerful androids will arise and destroy the planet as they know it today, giving Raditz a capsule which he says is medicine. After a nice little talk, Trunks goes away in his little time machine, back to the future, while the brothers Saiyans are now in a pickle as to what to do. Now that Goku and Raditz know that the androids are gonna come, they have to find Vegeta first, while Vegeta is out into space looking for a challenge so that he too can become a Super Saiyan. So Goku goes out to venture for Vegeta, while Raditz stays on Earth and guards it, training at every opportunity he can get. During his trip, Goku finds himself on a planet Yardrat, a planet with low combat power but mad skills of its residents. So he meets the Yardratians, and then the Yardratians tell Goku that they have a special ability called the instant transmission. Goku would like to learn it, and so the Yardratians get to work teaching Goku that. So for the next year, Goku is busy. Meanwhile, Vegeta came home to Earth and Raditz greets him, asking where the fuck has he been. Vegeta just smirks and transforms into his own Super Saiyan. Raditz is amazed that he actually pulled it off and asks how did he do it. Vegeta does the same backstory as he did during the Android saga, and so Raditz tries the same, training to get stronger but also hone his wrath. After about a year, Goku comes back on Earth and then gets greeted by everyone. Goku sees Raditz and Vegeta both in their Super Saiyan forms and sparring away. Goku then turns into his own Super Saiyan, having it learned from the Yardratians, and then goes and starts sparring with them as well. Raditz and Vegeta are thrilled to see Goku back, but also not very thrilled to see his new clothes. Goku then asks how did they get their Super Saiyan forms, and Vegeta then goes and repeats the same shit he did to Raditz about a year ago, while Raditz just tells this trick, that he managed to get away from all of his fears, and then it happened. The first Super Saiyan transformation of his has become. Goku is thrilled to see Raditz and Vegeta both have their Super Saiyan forms, meaning that they now have a chance against the androids. But then, Raditz asks Goku how did he get his Super Saiyan form, and Goku then went on a rant that he visited a planet called Planet Yardrat, and that the Yardratians there helped him to reach a Super Saiyan form and use it whenever the hell he wants. And then, they also taught him something else, instant transmission, which he gladly showcases right in front of them, taking Master Roshi's glasses and then coming back. The gang is thrilled by this new technique, but they still don't know much of a use for it yet. 2 more years later, the day of the androids has arrived, and they all wait in the outskirts for the arrival. Over there, Raditz and Bulma, the second they meet, they start an argument, while Vegeta just stands there smiling. However, Goku notices a baby. While Raditz is bitching about Bulma, Goku asks him who the baby belongs to. Raditz says that it's not his but Vegeta's, and then everyone cracks out laughing, asking how the fuck did Vegeta get Bulma to get pregnated. After that little fun, the explosion in the city occurs, and then they go into the search. On the way there, Vegeta says that it might be his baby, however Bulma is always up his ass and also carrying Trunks wherever they go. The second they hear Trunks, everything is clear. The boy from the future is Trunks, the baby which Vegeta created. In the city, they split out and start looking for the androids. Not long after, Yamcha finds them, gets impaled, and then the whole gang arrives next to Yamcha, helping him get back up and get him a senzu bean. While Goku, Vegeta, and Raditz all lead Dr. Gero and Android 19 into the outskirts so that they can fight. Over at the battlefield, both Goku and Raditz go into their Super Saiyan forms, and then they go after Gero, while Vegeta is pinned on Android 19 and goes after him, so that 19 doesn't thwart with their plans. All goes nice and well until Raditz suddenly gets a heartburn. He tries to shrug it off, however it's of no use, and then Raditz falls down onto the ground. Goku is there and wanting to help Raditz get back up, but he calls up Krillin to get Raditz back up and get him to safety, while Goku is pinned on Dr. Gero. Dr. Gero tries to escape, however it's of no use, and Goku kills him with no remorse. With Vegeta, it's a bit different. He still goes in with no remorse, however, he plays with Android 19, trying to get him to succumb to his defeat, but 19 tries to run away, which he fails to do so, and Vegeta kills him with a final flash. All meanwhile, Trunks comes back into the past and meets his father. Goku goes on into detail how they already defeated the androids, a white fat one and an old one. Trunks says that those are not the androids, but rather two young twins, one with blonde hair and one with black hair, androids 18 and 17. Goku is weirded out, saying that they actually beat the androids. However, Vegeta is pissed, saying that he could have told them that first before going on how his future is so fucked up. Either way, they go back to Capsule Corp to forge a plan to find the real androids. Over at Capsule Corp, Yamcha is all better and Raditz is in a ton of pain, having constricted the heart virus. Trunks is pissed that they managed to kill the wrong androids, and Bulma shines a little bit of light on them, saying that the old one was called Dr. Gero, and that he's went missing after the dismemberment of the Red Ribbon Army that Goku did a long time ago. However, she's been keeping tabs on Gero and knows where his lab is. So, without further ado, they go into the lab. In the lab, they see three capsules: the blonde hair, the black hair, and also the ginger hair, which Trunks did not anticipate at all. After a bit of exploring, they found a fourth one, a zygote hidden deep underneath the lab. They have no idea what the zygote is, but they're soon to find out, as something blows the lab up into shit. They get outside, and both Goku and Vegeta enter their Super Saiyan forms. Before them is a green bug monster that calls himself Cell. He goes into detail how he needs to absorb those androids so that he can become perfect. And to the Z fighters, it all seems very sus, so they do not let him. However, Cell proves to be much stronger than any of them could have anticipated. And so, Goku, Vegeta, Tien, and Krillin, all of them get grounded to the floor by Cell. Cell then breaks the seals on the capsules and absorbs 17 and then 18, whilst the Saiyans looked in utter horror as to what's going on. So in the span of 10 minutes, Cell has already become perfect. So now, instead of Cell killing all of them right then and there, Cell gives them a challenge. He gives them 2 weeks to prepare for a fight he would like to call Cell Games. Then dips out of there like nothing ever happened. The Z fighters all get right back up and see the carnage that Cell made. And also they see Android 16 still in his little capsule. So they decide to release him. However, Bulma says not to, as he has some malicious code that tells him to kill Goku. So Bulma opts to take him back to Capsule Corp so that she can research him and then make him one of their own. However, the Z fighters are way more planted on the idea of Cell Games. To Goku, it's basically a game of survival. Meanwhile, to Vegeta, it's a game of his pride, wanting to take a crack at Cell and defeat him with his own 2 hands. And so, they end up on the lookout while Bulma is coding Android 16 to become good. On the lookout, Goku and Vegeta are discussing where they're gonna go, and Goku has a pretty good idea. During the little time he was on the lookout and actually protecting the Dragon Balls, Goku actually managed to upgrade the time chamber so that instead of having only 2 years in there, they could have unlimited people and unlimited time in there so that they can go and train up. And so with that, Goku and Vegeta start the training. Gohan is told to wait outside and wait for Raditz so that he can train him. And so, Goku and Vegeta enter the time chamber and start training right away, while Gohan and Raditz are waiting on the two to get out of the time chamber. Goku and Vegeta have entered the hyperbolic time chamber to start training for Cell. Vegeta wants to start training right away, however, Goku stops him, saying they need to find a way to make the Super Saiyan transformation less straining. Vegeta doesn't give a shit and starts training right away, while Goku gets into a Super Saiyan and then starts training on his own. After about a few weeks, Goku is seen meditating, while Vegeta is training hard for his own Super Saiyan, reaching Grade 2 Super Saiyan. He goes up to Goku and asks him why is he meditating. Goku says that he needs to breach the gap between the normal Super Saiyan and a Mastered Super Saiyan. That way, he can stay in a form or get into it without any strain. Vegeta thinks for a little bit and then realizes what Goku meant all this time. So, Vegeta says to just stay in the Super Saiyan until it gets comfortable. And so, both start training their Super Saiyan so that they can stay in it for as long as they can. So, they start training with each other, trying to push and out-train each other. In the meantime, outside of the time chamber, Raditz is all better now and he comes to the lookout. Gohan and Raditz start sparring for a little bit and Gohan tells him that they will have to go into the hyperbolic time chamber so that they can train. He says that they will go after Goku and Vegeta. Raditz doesn't mind and so they continue on sparring while waiting for Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta have already had about a few months in there and a lot of progress has been made. Both Goku and Vegeta went through all of the stages of Super Saiyan and are now mastering their new stage 4. So far, it's only been 9 months and both of them have made quite a good bit of progress. However, they still wanted to be in there for at least 2 years. And so, Vegeta and Goku then start sparring to get to know their new power. They start pushing each other more than they've ever been pushed before, and in no time, Goku displays Super Saiyan 2 for the very first time, even though it was for a brief second. Vegeta looks at Goku and sees the power of the next transformation, which is basically 2 times of the normal Super Saiyan. Goku unfortunately gets out of it and then Vegeta asks him how did he do that. Goku has no recollection of it and so they try doing it again, but this time pay attention as well. In no time, Goku has managed to display it again. However, he has gained control of it and now he can fully control his Super Saiyan 2 transformation. Vegeta now can ask surely what he'd do and Goku replies that he just needed to be pinned into a corner, so that way he can let all of his emotions go loose. Vegeta then goes for it. However, Vegeta doesn't know a concept of emotions, so Vegeta is at a tough spot. So Goku tries giving him a bit of debrief on emotions, and Vegeta is told that it's whatever is in his heart that runs him. So Vegeta turns to his pride and his anger at Frieza, and then lets it all loose. And then Vegeta also turned into his own Super Saiyan 2. However, just like Goku the first time, for a brief second. So now, both Goku and Vegeta have reached their Super Saiyan 2 transformations and are ready to take on Cell. However, they still have a little bit less than a year to train up, so they do so. Instead of just meditating like they usually did when they were training to master their Super Saiyan, this time they actually train to get stronger, so that the Super Saiyan 2 transformation won't take such a toll on their bodies, and also to be a little bit more tougher for Cell. So they do that for the entirety of the 10 months they've been in there, and then they get out after almost 2 years of being in there. Gohan and Raditz immediately sense the burning energy coming from the two, knowing that they've gotten out. However, they didn't even recognize them from the amount of power they've garnered in the time chamber. So Goku and Vegeta got out and then asked where Cell is. Mr. Popo told him that Cell is making his own arena, and with no time to spare, both Goku and Vegeta went ahead. Raditz and Gohan are pretty weirded out, so they get into the time chamber and quit thinking about it. Meanwhile, Goku and Vegeta both turn Super Saiyan 2 and then go right towards Cell. Cell is amazed to greet them and also wondering how the hell did they get powered up so fast. But Goku and Vegeta didn't pay attention at all, and so they go and attack Cell together. Since Vegeta got a little bit more in touch with his feelings, that is pride, he cares just a little bit more about teamwork and doesn't ignore Goku when he needs help. So they beat Cell up to a bloody pulp until he spits out Android 18 and 17 at the same time, since they both need Cell at the same time, one from the front and one from the back, returning Cell to his imperfect form then and there. Then both Goku and Vegeta prepare their famous attacks. Goku prepares a Kamehameha and Vegeta prepares his Gallic gun. Then they shoot it at Cell and destroy Cell. 17 and 18 are then next. However, Goku stops Vegeta, saying that they might have been programmed as well. So, Goku convinces Vegeta to take them to Capsule Corp so that Bulma can see what she can do with those two. At Capsule Corp, Bulma is given Android 17 and 18 amongst Android 16 so that she can do her magic on them. Goku and Vegeta then get back to the lookout and say they have defeated Cell. However, that was only just the beginning, as Cell came to the lookout and then said that he cannot be killed. Goku and Vegeta go back to their Super Saiyan 2 forms and then kick Cell off of the lookout. They damage Cell quite a lot yet again, and then they do a much more powerful blast and aim it right towards Cell, and then instead of just using it up once he's gone, they just keep on until every single last cell of him is gone. So with that, Cell is gone. With both Goku and Vegeta being the prime Super Saiyan 2s, they defeated Cell without any remorse or any difficulty. Raditz and Gohan get out of the time chamber, and they're sadly not Super Saiyan 2s, however they're pretty close, as they both have mastered the Super Saiyan transformation. Goku and Vegeta told Raditz and Gohan that Cell is now gone and that Bulma is going to reprogram androids so that they don't have to kill Goku. Raditz and Gohan are mad because they didn't get to fight him, but they are glad that Cell is now gone. Trunks then asks Vegeta to train him since he's his father and all, and Vegeta says sure, and then they go into the time chamber, exiting about 6 months later in the Earth's time. Trunks thanks his father and then goes back to the future, where he defeats the androids and his own version of Cell. 7 years have passed and quite a good bit has changed. Goku has gotten his second son Goten, and he's now living down on Earth instead of the lookout. Raditz is now dating Launch, and Gohan is now going into high school. However, Gohan isn't really a pussy anymore, since he hasn't really had any kind of trauma as a child, and so he's more inclined to training instead of studying, even though Chi-Chi is really not fond of that. But he still manages pretty good at school. Gohan also doesn't have his alter ego, the Great Saiyaman, because the hair color change is more than enough to fuck with someone's head. In no time, Videl finds Gohan, and they quickly become pretty good friends. Videl introduces Gohan to the rest of the class, and Gohan has plenty of friends, so he's not known as that nerd, but instead he's known as a Chad. Gohan then hears from Videl that the next Tenkaichi Budokai is in less than a month, and so Gohan is excited about that, telling his father to go and join in with him. Goku is ecstatic about it and then goes up to Goten and asks him if he wants to fight. Goten says so, and then they all go and ask Vegeta. Vegeta is down for that, and so is Trunks, who is now 7. So after the whole thing, Gohan tells Videl that not only him will join, but also his entire family. They all get to the tournament grounds and they start preparing for the tournament. They get to the punch machine and everyone does as they usually do, with Vegeta breaking the punch machine. Raditz is not there simply because him and Launch have gotten a child, so he has a daddy duty to do. However, there is one flip to the Tenkaichi Budokai. There is a children division. So, Goten and Trunks are supposed to fight separately from the grown-ups. Not only that, but the children get to fight first. So while all of the Z fighters are reassigned, Goten and Trunks start the battle in their own division, going through it until eventually they're up against each other. Goten and Trunks are similar in age. Although Trunks is slightly older than Goten, they impress their crowd with their super abilities. They even display their Super Saiyan forms one by another. Eventually, just like in canon, Trunks wins. And now it's time for the adult division. Since Piccolo doesn't really exist, some random guy takes his place. And with that, the adult division starts. Goku notices 2 strange people looking at them. He doesn't think much of it, and he's more pinned about the 2 other people that are looking at them as well. It's all fun and games until Vegeta goes up a red guy, which is basically one of the weird people. Goku thinks that they're holding a dark and deep secret, and so calls out the second one, the shorter one, out on it. The dude confirms the suspicions and even tells Goku that he is the Supreme Kai. Vegeta hears that as well and sees and looks at the red guy, Kibito, and just forfeits the fight. Which was actually a very good choice, but to Shin and Kibito, it was basically a danger, since Vegeta was supposed to get his energy sucked out by the other two weirdos. Vegeta is telepathically told to go all out, right then and there, to which Vegeta isn't very fond of, but still goes Super Saiyan 2 and is trying to go even further beyond. But before anything could happen, Shin traps Vegeta in his own Ki, and then the two weirdos go and suck out Vegeta's energy. Once it's all finished, the two weirdos escape, and Shin is now being yelled at by Goku as to why did he do that. Shin just says that it was necessary, as that now they have to follow them. And so they do, while Kibito is healing Vegeta. During the flight there, Goku is told about Babidi and also Majin Buu. However, Shin thinks that he shouldn't really be getting into this fight, since Goku is basically the holder of the Dragon Balls. Goku says that he doesn't mind all that and that he always wants a good fight. Vegeta catches up and then confirms all of that. Shin, however, is curious about Goku and Vegeta, so he asks Vegeta how did he get to such a form and such power, and was he about to get into his third form. Vegeta said that since Goku and Vegeta always sparred alone, him, Raditz, Goku and Gohan managed to get all the way to Super Saiyan 3, which is basically above Super Saiyan 2 that they displayed about 7 years ago. Shin and Kibito are amazed, and so they have great hopes for all three of the Saiyans. After all of this, they come to the ship. Shin and Kibito hide, while Goku, Vegeta and Gohan all go towards the ship. Shin yells for them to go and back up, however it was too late, as the Bora comes out and tries to spit on them. They dodge the spits, however Vegeta warns Goku that he didn't spit on them for no reason, so it's best to avoid their spit. However, on the Bora's third spit, Gohan forgot to dodge, and he managed to get turned into stone. Now both Goku and Vegeta knew exactly what they were getting into, and so they went to killing the Bora as quick as possible. They managed to kill him in Super Saiyan 2, and then they told Shin and Kibito to go with them. Kibito was scared, however Shin went along with them, and so they get down into the ship. They meet Yamu and Spopovich halfway there, and so they also managed to kill them. Well, mainly Vegeta because he was the one that the energy was sucked out of. However, Babidi played some games. He got out Pui Pui and Yakan all at the same time, and the two had to fight them. So Vegeta took on Yakan and Goku took Pui Pui. Pui Pui was very weak, and so he was killed by Goku in a matter of seconds. However, Yakan had a weird ability to summon darkness all around. So Goku and Vegeta managed to team up and defeat Yakan in a matter of 3 minutes. After that, they go and blast their way in. Since they already killed the Bora was nowhere to be present, apart from the ground, dead. But before they got to Babidi, Vegeta started to writhe in pain. Goku was pretty confused, however Shin knew exactly what was going on, and told Vegeta not to give up and that he's not as bad as he used to be. Vegeta, even though in pain, he knew that he shouldn't succumb to Babidi's will, and so he powered up to Super Saiyan 2 and eventually Super Saiyan 3, and then shot a final flash down all the way to the bottom of the ship and killed Babidi in cold blood, reversing the magic spell that Babidi tried to do on Vegeta, reverting Vegeta back to normal and relieving him of the pain. Vegeta went back to his normal base form, and then Vegeta pointed to a weird pink ball that was right in the corner. Shin knew exactly what it was and then said that this was Majin Buu. Goku and Vegeta were kind of confused as to what a ball can do. However, Shin explained that Majin Buu was encapsulated within that ball and that they have to get rid of it as soon as possible, no matter how. Goku and Vegeta look at each other, and Gohan even came along asking what's going on. And then they look at Gohan, and eventually they look at Shin. Shin was supposed to be the one to get rid of Majin Buu, but Shin had no idea on how. Goku said that since he's a god, he's supposed to breathe in space, and that he can just carry the ball over to the sun to get disintegrated. Shin actually liked that idea, and then they all helped Shin get Majin Buu's ball out of there, and then Shin took it to the sun and managed to get rid of it. And then Shin came back to Earth and they managed to save it along with all those Saiyans. A few short minutes later, Raditz came along asking what the hell happened and why did he suddenly feel Vegeta's power skyrocket suddenly. They said that it was nothing and that he should have went along. Raditz is pissed while everyone is laughing. About a year later, since the whole incident, Goku and Vegeta have been sparring all this time as they managed to perfect Super Saiyan 3, and even Raditz came back to go and train with them. Gohan is still managing to get Super Saiyan 3 under good control, and Raditz kind of can't anymore since he had a child and now he has to retrain again. So Raditz is stuck with Super Saiyan 2 again. However, the troubles don't end there. All the way across their universe, Beerus the Destroyer has awoken and is looking for a prophecy, which he cannot remember. He asks Whis, and then Whis gives him an answer, that there are a couple of Saiyans left alive and that some of them are stationed on Earth. After Whis shows Beerus the history of the Saiyans, Beerus is actually interested in Goku, as Goku, to him, looks pretty much similar to the prophecy he had in his dream, and so they go towards Earth. On Earth, Bulma is hosting a massive birthday party and everyone is there. However, some are half there and half training. By some, I mean Goku, Vegeta, Raditz, and Gohan. All of a sudden, Goku gets a telepathic message from Shin, saying that Beerus the Destroyer has awoken. Goku doesn't know of any destroyers, so he asks Vegeta if he knows about him. Vegeta has some bells ringing in his head, however, he too cannot remember. Regardless of anything, Shin tells Goku to be very careful as Beerus is very short-tempered and he's coming to Earth for Goku himself. Goku is now on high guard and tells Vegeta to be on guard as well. Vegeta then tells Gohan while Goku tells his brother Raditz, and all 4 Saiyans are on the lookout. They stop the training and then just look around, while Bulma and everyone else think that they finally joined the party. However, their answers are answered when Beerus touches down on Earth, along with his attendant Whis. Beerus the Destroyer has now landed on Earth and is touching down onto Bulma's ship. Goku and Vegeta are on a really high guard, and Supreme Kai tells them to be very careful around Beerus. Beerus looks around and sees many familiar faces, Vegeta and Raditz just to name a few, and also Goku, the main attraction of his dream. He goes up to Goku, greets him, and then goes into detail about his prophecy, about a Super Saiyan God that is bound to destroy Beerus, that means him. Goku, being stupid, has no idea what a Super Saiyan God is, however, he does know one thing, that he is a god of something, and that is the Dragon Balls. So, he goes up and tells Vegeta if he knows anything about a Super Saiyan God. Not Vegeta nor Raditz know anything about it. The only legend that they know of is being the Super Saiyan, which they rightfully attained. So now it's a dilemma between Beerus, Goku, and the rest of the Saiyans, whether for Beerus to destroy the planet or not. Goku then remembers something, Dragon Balls. So he comes up to Bulma, knowing that the Dragon Balls are the main prize on her ship, and asks to get the Dragon Balls so that they can ask Shenron. Bulma is very hesitant, however, eventually she succumbs to the fact that Beerus is here to destroy the planet, not to worship it. And so, Bulma gives up the Dragon Balls and Goku summons Shenron. Shenron notices Beerus and is very anxious around him. However, Goku then goes and asks for the wish, to know everything about a Super Saiyan God. Shenron then goes into great detail about the legend, how it's created, and how someone can become one. But when Goku asks Shenron to bring the Super Saiyan God here, Shenron cannot do that, as a Super Saiyan God does not exist yet. So they have to stick to the first part of the whole wish, and that is to create the Super Saiyan God. The creation is pretty simple. Shenron explains it how 5 righteous Super Saiyans have to combine their powers into one, creating the Super Saiyan God. Seeing as they already have 6 Super Saiyans, the ritual starts very fast, as Vegeta, Raditz, Gohan, Goten and Trunks all put their hands together, and Vegeta and Raditz place their hands onto Goku, the 6th Saiyan. The ritual starts, and all the seasonal changes go through until eventually a Super Saiyan God is born. Now that Goku has attained Super Saiyan God, he goes up to Beerus and asks for a good fight. Beerus is pleased to see a Super Saiyan God and his prophecy actually coming true, and so the battle starts. Beerus goes up against Goku and eventually mops the floor with him, since Goku is still adapting to his Super Saiyan God transformation. After a short period of time, Goku manages to adapt to his Super Saiyan God, and then goes up against Beerus. Beerus manages to block and dodge all of his attacks, however, Goku is quite persistent, landing a punch after punch eventually. Beerus is now slightly cornered and then bumps up his energy to go up against Goku again, then sledgehammers Goku back into the ship. Goku springs right back into action and then tries to get Beerus into the stratosphere, where they could fight in peace. Goku's plan works, and they end up in the weak gravity and weak air of the stratosphere. So now, Goku and Beerus can go all out without ever worrying about damaging the Earth and its inhabitants. So, Beerus goes up to Goku and starts throwing punches, which Goku barely manages to dodge. However, Goku is already a little bit worn out, but doesn't give up, as he powers up a Kamehameha, which he's amazed by since it's much more powerful than a conventional Kamehameha. He throws it at Beerus, however, Beerus cancels it pretty much instantly. Beerus then rushes Goku and starts toying around with him, getting Goku to snap and then eventually releasing his full power. Beerus is now pleased to see that and then continues the offense. Beerus manages to get Goku back to Earth and then continue the fight there. However, Goku doesn't want that and then goes back up to the stratosphere with Beerus following. Considering they nearly broke the fabric of space, the Supreme Kai goes and tells Goku to try to connect their attacks so that the fabric of reality doesn't get destroyed. And so, Goku listens. One kick, two kick, and the third one manages to connect, and now Beerus and Goku can finally go all out, no matter how hard they punch or kick. Eventually, Goku starts losing his Super Saiyan God ability. However, Beerus sees that he's still maintaining the power even though he's not a Super Saiyan God, and Beerus calls out Goku on it. Goku says that he didn't feel at all, but he's glad that he still gets the power, and then they continue on the fight. Goku tries his best while Beerus is toying around with Goku, throwing blasts and all kinds of waves at Goku to try and get him to quit. However, Goku tries one more last resort, another massive Kamehameha. He charges it up and throws it towards Beerus. Beerus is now struggling with Goku's Kamehameha and it tries to end it in one blow. So, Beerus goes and nullifies the Kamehameha so that now Goku is all tapped out. Beerus gets Goku to the ground and then acts like he's about to destroy the world. However, he quote-unquote falls asleep so that Whis gets up in the picture, thanks Goku for the fight, and then gets Beerus off of the planet. With that little adventure, Vegeta is now free to speak and says that he's very angry at the fact that he wasn't destined to become the Super Saiyan God and swears that he will become one even without the ritual. Goku then smiles and then gets back to the party. Goku then gets a good idea to shorten the waiting span of the Dragon Balls after each usage, and so he does that after the party. A few short months later, Goku is chilling on the lookout, testing new ways of improving Shenron. All of a sudden, Whis comes up to the lookout and greets Goku. Goku is surprised to see Whis, however, Whis cuts straight to the chase. He wants to train Goku, and maybe even Vegeta and Raditz, since they're all pretty competent Saiyans. And considering Goku nearly mopped the floor with Beerus, Goku would be a good training partner for Beerus. Goku says that he already has too much work on his hands, but Whis guilt trips him into going. And so Goku is in, considering that he doesn't want to miss any training. And so Whis then picks up Vegeta, Raditz, and Gohan, and then they go to Beerus' planet. On there, Beerus is sleeping, and Whis tells Goku, Vegeta, Raditz, and Gohan that in order to train with him, they will need to do a little bit of chores in order to prove themselves worthy. And so the training / chores start. They start cleaning, cutting grass, and even changing Beerus' sheets day in and day out, until one day they all stop on the request of Whis, saying that they will now begin the training. However, before all of that, Bulma calls in on Whis' staff and then starts yelling at Vegeta for leaving home. Vegeta failed to realize that he didn't say goodbye, and so says it then and there. However, Bulma isn't the only threat. At the far end of the galaxy, the remnants of the Frieza Force are planning to revive Frieza. And so they try doing their best to get to the planet Earth, get the Dragon Balls, and then revive Frieza. They successfully do so, and this time Frieza isn't in a million pieces, but rather gets revived as a single being, and then they escape with Frieza faster than they came to Earth. No one was there to witness the situation, and so no one takes any precaution. However, all 4 of the Saiyans have a very bad gut feeling that's about to happen in the near future. They do not pay much attention to it though, and then just continue training, while Whis has a genuinely concerned look on his face. Frieza is now alive and well, and he decided to train up. He wants to get rid of Saiyans as quickly as he possibly can so that he can finally take control of the cosmos. And so he chooses his training buddy and starts training for the next several months. Meanwhile, with the Saiyans, the squad now knows what God Ki is and learned how to sense it, as well as how to control it and use it as their own. Goku already had a small chunk of it, since the Dragon Ki that he needed to keep the Dragon Balls afloat was also partly God Ki, so for him it was way easier to control it. Meanwhile, for the rest, it took a couple of more days. However, they managed to get a hold of God Ki. This was around the same time that Beerus woke up and saw the 4 Saiyans going at it with the training. Beerus was pretty pissed at Whis for letting the Saiyans train on his planet, however, he soon succumbed to it. And now, Beerus is commanding the training for the Saiyans. Beerus told Whis to seal the Saiyans in his staff, so that they could train in a completely new environment. And so, Whis complies, sealing them in his staff and letting them train until they can't anymore. And so, the 4 Saiyans are now in a pickle of how to control their powers in a setting where they cannot even exert their ki. Meanwhile, with Frieza, Frieza has now finished his training and is going towards Earth. All of the events from now on go pretty much the same. Frieza comes to Earth, Bulma is scared shitless and tries to get over to Whis. Whis finally responds, and the Saiyans then go and respond to Frieza landing on Earth. Goku then instant transmissions all 4 of them to Earth, and now the fun begins. Considering that Gohan and Piccolo weren't there, with Gohan training with Whis and Piccolo not existing, Krillin and Tien take the place as the one who was killed and one who was brutally beaten up. Frieza, however, is still in his first form, as opposed to the final form. Goku, Vegeta, Raditz, and Gohan play rock, paper, scissors as to who will go for Frieza first. And of course, Goku is first. So he steps up to Frieza and they start fighting. It all goes relatively the same. Goku and Frieza spar for a little bit and then they reveal the lengths of their power. Goku then gets shot from the back and Vegeta asks for Gohan to go give him some help. And Gohan does so. He gets into the battle with his Super Saiyan Blue and then continues the fight with Frieza. Gohan, however, has a lot more potential than his father and all 3 of the other Saiyans combined, so he has a little bit more of a chance at beating Frieza. Goku is then taken to healing while Vegeta handles the one who shot him from behind. Gohan is now realizing that Frieza's energy is skyrocketing all the way down and that at some point Frieza will lose all of his power to maintain his golden form. So Gohan fights and fights until it happens. And then he purposely beats Frieza all the way to the ground to teach him a lesson. Frieza is dead, and this time he didn't have a chance to completely destroy the planet so that they can get it back 3 minutes behind. And with that, Frieza is defeated. Gohan was the one considered a victor, and Goku congratulated his son on the victory. A few months have passed, and Goku, Vegeta, Raditz, and Gohan are on Earth as opposed to Beerus' planet. Raditz has to stay home and look after his child, while Gohan has also gotten a child and had to be there. Goku and Vegeta are just messing around and sparring with each other, so they're not really doing anything important. However, on Beerus' world, Beerus has a new visitor. His brother visited in to have a taste test of the new meal. Beerus sets up the food table, and then they go to town munching on the eggs. The eggs are nothing special, and then Beerus introduces Champa to the ramen. Champa really likes it, and then he wants to take Earth for his own. So he decides to make a nice tournament. Beerus doesn't want it at first, however, Whis notifies him that the Saiyans would be very glad to fight. And so Beerus scheduled the appointment for the tournament. He goes over to Earth and tells Goku that the tournament is coming up. Goku and Vegeta are all up for it. However, Raditz and Gohan have better things to do. For example, being fathers, something that Goku and Vegeta cannot really do. And so, Goku and Vegeta are the only participants that can go. And so, they now have to choose the other 3 fighters. Beerus says that he already has a 3rd fighter, while the other 2 are still a mystery. And so, they try seeking for any good power levels around the universe, but they cannot find them. The only ones that can properly fight and have plenty of power are Goten and Trunks. So they just appoint them. It doesn't matter if they're kids or not. They have a lot of power, but they still have to be trained and taught. Beerus, however, dislikes the idea. However, Goku reassures him that it's probably for the best, as they will gain even more fighting experience. Beerus just says whatever, and then goes seeking for the 5th person. Not long after, the tournament begins. They all go to the planet which Champa decided, and then they settle there. They manage to get comfortable, and then the tournament begins. The first to fight was Goku and Batamo, and that battle goes pretty much the same way as in canon. The Frost battle with Goku goes pretty much the same too. However, Piccolo vs Frost in the original doesn't happen, so Goten takes Piccolo's place. Goten is trying his best to defeat Frost and manages to do so. However, he gets poisoned as well and calls it out to the judge. The judge examines Frost and sees the needle on his wrist. So now, Frost did not only lose, he's completely disqualified from participating. Next up is Goten and Automagetta. Goten tries to think rationally, however, Magetta completely outcompetes Goten. So now, Goten is in a pickle. Magetta then eliminates Goten. So now, Vegeta gets into the fight. Vegeta, the very first thing that he says when coming into the ring is that he really doesn't want to fight this piece of hot garbage, which manages to emotionally hurt Magetta. So now, Vegeta got his trick and then eliminates Magetta. Next up is Vegeta and Kaba, and that goes pretty much the same way. And so does Vegeta vs Hit. So now, Goku gets into the fight, considering that Frost was cheating, so now Goku is back into battle. Goku's and Hit's fights also go relatively the same. However, not all is the same. Whis gets a contact from Bulma saying that the Dragon Balls are getting larger and larger and turning red. So Whis is now out of words, thinking what might possibly happen to the Dragon Balls. But then, Goku forfeits the battle, which infuriates both Beerus and Champa. Bulma then tells Whis that the Dragon Balls are now of normal shape and size, and that there is nothing to worry about. Whis is clearly confused as to what's going on, however links it to the fact that Goku used Kaioken in the battle, and that he's pretty much worn down. And from this point on, everything goes the same. Monaka fights Hit, Hit knocks himself out of respect for Goku, and then Universe 7 wins. Zeno comes around, starts berating the destroyers, and everything goes the same. They then all go home to have a massive feast right after the battle. Goten was congratulated for actually being useful this time, and Goten is now full of ego and decides to train as much as possible yet again, along with Trunks. After a bit of time, Raditz and Gohan pick up on training. They have gotten quite rusty, so they really need some training. Goku and Vegeta are basically the same since they train day in and day out, so everyone is training on Beerus' planet. However, everything will turn for the worst, as something crashes in the backyard of Bulma's house. Everyone gets out, and after a bit of examination, they notice that this is Future Trunks' time machine, so they get out and check inside. Future Trunks is really hurt in there, so they get him out and send him off to the side. The Saiyans are notified and they instant transmission to Earth to see what Future Trunks is doing here again. Goku gets a senzu bean and feeds Future Trunks one. Future Trunks gets up and sees Goku, then attacks him for no apparent reason. Bulma slaps Future Trunks on the head and Future Trunks gets back to his senses. He sees that Goku that he sees right now is not the same Goku he sees in his mind. Goku asks what's going on and Trunks then calms down and then explains everything. He explains the whole Goku Black situation and how it all started, with Goku Black being the menace and treating everyone like trash, all while telling everyone that he indeed is Goku. He starts ranting how Goku Black wants to destroy all mortals, and then all of a sudden a rift opens up. Goku Black comes out of the rift and looks around, seeing Lord Beerus, Goku, Vegeta, and Future Trunks along with the time machine. He doesn't know exactly how did he get here, but he has a good idea. Beerus and Whis point out to his index finger and they confirm the suspicions that he might be a god or someone who might have stolen the time ring. At this point in time, everything goes pretty much the same. Goku and Goku Black fight, Goku Black destroys the time machine, Bulma manages to find the old time machine, then restores it and lets the Saiyans go into the future. They get owned in the future, all while Beerus and Whis start an investigation in Universe 10. They figure Zamasu must be the culprit, but they cannot approve of anything without Goku. Goku finds out that Zamasu's ki is a little bit of the same, and then he starts theorizing, all while getting ready for the second trip. The second trip also goes pretty much the same. However, the third trip, even though Beerus destroyed Zamasu, it still goes a little bit different. Sure, Zamasu is still there as well as Goku Black. However, when it comes to the fusion, Goku and Vegeta bicker a lot longer since they never had fused before. They manage to fuse and then a second thing changes. The Dragon Balls in the original timeline completely disappear. They just get turned into stone. Since Kid Trunks cannot really go into the future to tell them, he just has to wait it out. While Goku and Vegeta fight merged Zamasu. They manage to win until Zamasu basically dominates the entire universe. Then Goku presses the Zeno button, Zeno appears and then destroys Zamasu, all while they flee back to their original timeline. Back in the present, Goku feels quite a lot stronger, but then Kid Trunks says that the Dragon Balls have disappeared. Goku senses that the Dragon Balls indeed have disappeared and doesn't know how. Whis theorizes on the idea that since they went into the future, they might have fused and then the Dragon Balls might have disappeared as a cause of that. Goku says they indeed did fuse and so there was the answer. However, there was a caveat. Goku now has to completely make new Dragon Balls from the ground up, since Shenron's sculpture is basically destroyed, because it pretty much destroyed itself. Goku says that's no biggie and then goes on to recreate the Dragon Balls from the scratch. However, in the meantime, Gowasu visits Whis and says there's a new time ring that has appeared, a yellow time ring instead of green. Green means that not a big change has happened. However, the yellow time ring has a much more severe consequences if it gets created. That means if anything from the future timeline gets in the present timeline that might affect the flow of time, everything will go haywire, as both timelines will merge together. Beerus and Whis are now heavily concerned and then they go over to Goku to discuss it. Goku, hearing all of that, cannot really process the fact that the disappearance of the Dragon Balls can cause such an effect, then asking if there's any way to reverse the damage. Whis says there is only one way, however, it is extremely risky as they have to get to that timeline. And considering nothing can travel to that timeline anymore, well, that only leaves a few options. Whis theorizes that since they cannot go over there, only Zeno and Grand Priest of their timeline can go over there to fix the issue. But they cannot really know how to tell them, so it can only be up to Goku since Zeno and Goku are pretty good friends. So Goku has to find a way and find words to describe the whole situation to Zeno and Grand Priest. And with a simple click of a button, he goes over to Zeno's palace. Over at the Zeno's palace, Daishinkan greets him and welcomes him in. During the trip in the corridors, Goku tells the Grand Priest that something bad has happened. Grand Priest already knows. A yellow time ring has appeared and wants him to find the cause. Goku already has a cause, so he tells Daishinkan about the Dragon Balls and their disappearance and his link to them. Daishinkan is perplexed at the idea that a Saiyan like Goku is able to control the Dragon Balls, a technology that can only be forged and maintained by a Namekian. Either way, they enter Zeno's palace. Zeno is there to greet Goku. However, Goku didn't come there to play, but to talk. The Grand Priest tells Zeno exactly what happened, and Zeno's face turns from a smile to a serious face. After a careful discussion, Grand Priest tells Goku there's only two possible outcomes. He either gets killed and they have to save it on their own, or two, he can put that ring on and then hold the timeline in his own hands. That means he will become immortal, and that if he gets killed, the whole timeline will start merging with theirs, which there is no escape from. Goku is now put in a tough situation. However, Goku said that he will take the responsibility into his own hands no matter what, and so he takes the responsibility of handling the time ring. And so with that, Daishinkan warps the time ring over to Goku's hand and places it on his index finger. With that, he is given clear instructions as to how to handle it and how to protect it against his own demise. Goku understands the terms and then calmly leaves Zeno's palace. He gets warped back to Earth and greets Beerus and Whis, who are impatiently waiting for Goku's arrival. Goku says that he took their proposal and now he has to carry the timeline in his own hands, literally showing them the yellow time ring. Beerus and Whis are not only shocked, they're also scared for Goku. So now Goku has to carry that weight on his shoulders. So they tell him not to do anything stupid even if he wants to, and to come up with a conclusion as fast as possible, as to save both timelines. That means future Trunks has to stay in their timeline, otherwise the whole timeline stream is gonna get fucked. Goku gets that and continues on by making his Dragon Balls. Goku is stuck with calling the dragon a name. However, he's had a dream about a character called Bardock, and so he names the dragon Bardock. What he doesn't know is that is the name of his father, and when he points it out, Raditz says that that is the name of their father, and the fact that he dreamt of him means that he somehow managed to remember his past. Goku is weirded out to say the least. However, he decides to keep the name for the dragon, and then summons the dragon for the very first time. The dragon is quite underpowered, however, Goku gives him a few boosts over time. The dragon, however, looks pretty similar to Shenron. However, a new dragon wasn't really a plan. It was how he was gonna use the dragon. So, he manages to link Bardock and his time ring together. The idea here is that the dragon will have some kind of a link between the timelines, and so the only thing remaining is to have the two links up and running, so that he can somehow manage to fix the timeline. He still waits on that, since the dragon is not really powerful just yet, so he waits so that he can get the dragon all buffed up. That said, future Trunks and future Mai are now stuck in the present timeline, and now have to live the life of basically two escapees and learn to live knowing that two versions of them exist over here, just much younger. Beerus and Whis get quite comfortable with the two and also starts training Trunks, which is gonna be of great help to help and train the Saiyans even more. However, Zeno has other plans in mind. Zeno asked Daishinkan on whether they should host a tournament or not. Daishinkan had no problem at hosting a tournament, but they had to let everyone know and also host the rules. And so they get to planning. Goku is still trying to figure out how to get the timeline to disappear, since it is in his hands. He comes up to a conclusion that he could use the dragon and power it up so that the dragon is linked to his ring so that he could use it to destroy the timeline. All of a sudden, he senses Ki behind him. He turns around and then he sees the Supreme Kai, Beerus, and Whis. All of a sudden, Daishinkan also comes by and then starts talking. Everyone bows, including Goku, and then Daishinkan goes on to explain the rules for the Tournament of Power. The rules are explained, everyone shits their pants, and then Goku gets told that he cannot participate in the tournament unless he gives the ring to somebody else, who is strong enough to maintain the equilibrium of the timeline. Goku says there are plenty of people that can do that, and so he says that he will get on to finding the fighters for the tournament. Daishinkan is pleased, and then he leaves. Goku then starts gathering people for the tournament. So obviously Goku is in, Vegeta's in, Gohan's in, Raditz is in, and also future Trunks, so that makes 5. Android 17 and 18 are also appointed. That making 7, Roshi and Tien are also in. They need Roshi's skill and Tien's strength and dexterity. Making that a 9, there is no 10th participant. However, Krillin pipes up, saying that he will be able to maintain himself in the tournament. And so Krillin is in, making that 10 people for the tournament. However, there is no Zeno Expo for them, since Goku's dragon is so strong that their mortal level is actually pretty decent. And so they don't need to go to the Zeno Expo, but in the meantime, they just wait. The Tournament of Power is set and they go to the Null Realm. They meet a lot of cool people and they meet the people from Universe 6. Meeting the new Saiyans, and also Goku and the rest of the Saiyans meet Jiren. Jiren displays quite a good bit of power. However, before Goku actually manages to see everything, the tournament starts. The Saiyans manage to scatter everywhere and then start battling. Gohan and Trunks actually fight together, while Raditz, Vegeta, and Goku are on their own. As to what happened to Goku's ring, he actually gave it to Yamcha, since Yamcha is more than powerful enough to withstand the heat of the ring. So in this case, Yamcha is actually useful. Goku's fights with Jiren all go the same. Meanwhile, Vegeta and Raditz fight the Universe 6 Saiyans Caulifla and Kale. Meanwhile, Gohan fights Hit, and Trunks fights Kaba. Kaba notices similarities between his teacher and Trunks, and calls him out to be his son. It is technically not a lie, so Trunks confirms that. Goku's Ultra Instinct wears off, but he's still able to fight, and Vegeta and Raditz have managed to push Caulifla and Kale to fuse into Kefla. And so, Vegeta and Raditz fused as well, even though they really didn't want to. They fuse into Vegets, and then they start going off at Kefla. The two fusions heat up the battlefield so much that everyone in the fight zone can feel it, and even in the bleachers. Roshi fights Frost and also nearly dies, however, he manages to seal him with help of Trunks. Roshi became too tired and then forfeits the battle. Tien got kicked off of the platform due to a bugman that tripped him out. And the same goes for Krillin. Android 18 saves Android 17 from falling down, meanwhile sacrificing her own chance in a tournament. And so she is out too. Meanwhile, Goku being Goku goes up against Jiren once again. However, Toppo comes in the clutch. So Goku yet again has to use Kaioken on Super Saiyan Blue. He manages to defeat Toppo, however, Jiren is not that easy to deal with. So Goku, yet again, is forced to use Ultra Instinct, and this time mastering it as well. But in the heat of all of the battle, something changes. Daishinkan notices a change in the Null Realm. Something bad is going down, as the sky turns into a bright purple and then bright blue. Everyone notices that but pretends nothing happened. However, on the battlefield, Goku has used up all of his energy and the Ultra Instinct he used vanished, causing immense pain and then becoming unstable. Meanwhile, back home, the Dragon Balls have disappeared yet again. No one knows what is happening, but the same colored sky happens in the Universe 7 as well, and all across the cosmos. Daishinkan stops everyone in their tracks in the tournament and then goes on to explain what is going on. Blaming it on Goku, he explains that the two timelines have started merging, and now the tournament has to stay on hold. Goku, already tired as hell, figures what's going on and demands to go back home. Daishinkan teleports him home and then he meets Yamcha, who tells him exactly what happened. Goku knew about that, however, he doesn't know what's bound to happen. All of a sudden, Goku gets attacked from the back. Goku turns around and sees someone much like a Namekian. Who Goku's seen is Zalama, the creator of the Super Dragon Balls, and he's there to come and destroy Goku, explaining that Goku has managed to tamper with the flow of time and now he has to pay a price. Zalama disappears and now Goku is left alone. He gets a senzu bean and recovers from his wounds. He then goes on to explain exactly what happened in the tournament and how everything is going to shit because of him. Well, mostly Trunks as well, but it all depended on him, so he's going to pay the price. Daishinkan also rushes in, saying that he needs to fuse with the Super Dragon Balls in order to stand a chance against Zalama, as the Super Dragon Balls hold exactly enough power to go and defeat Zalama. Goku thinks of it and then he gets teleported to the Super Dragon Balls which Daishinkan held in the Null Realm, which is deteriorating by the minute. The Dragon Balls and Goku then start getting linked together, and before long, Goku has absorbed the power of the Super Dragon Balls, reaching his own version of the Dragon form. And now, he's going up against Zalama. Zalama realizes what Goku has done and then gets infuriated, creating a whole new universe for the two to go at it. Meanwhile, Goku is trying his best to get to Zalama, however, he cannot trace him. Goku searches the entire cosmos, however, he cannot get a hold of it. Using the power of the Super Dragon Balls, he teleports from place to place, however, he just cannot find Zalama, as Zalama filtered his location out of his own creation, so that nobody can find him. Goku tries for hours to find Zalama, and then finally, he gets a hold of him. He teleports to Zalama and sees a whole another universe right in front of him, seeing Zalama right in the middle of it. And then and there, Zalama and Goku begin the battle. Zalama immediately goes for an offense, however, Goku kicks him further away. Then, Zalama throws a variant of the Special Beam Cannon right at Goku, which damages Goku a little bit, however, Goku managed to dodge. Goku then throws his Kamehameha and then hits Zalama with it, but Zalama is not even phased. Zalama then kicks Goku into a planetoid, and Goku hits the planetoid, however, is mostly unscathed. Goku keeps on spamming the Ki Blast right at Zalama, all while Zalama is trying to block. That was a good distraction to instant transmission behind Zalama and kick him into the planetoid, which he got kicked in. Zalama then summons all of his power and goes to rush Goku. Goku prepares his own Dragon Fist and then goes for Zalama. As they are approaching each other, their power levels skyrocket and then they hit each other. After a short pause, Zalama is seen with a hole in his chest, slowly disintegrating away as Goku's power dissipates. The timelines start returning to normal, and Zalama tells Goku that his power is now Goku's, that he deserved it, and that he saved the timelines. The timeline now gets completely expunged. Meanwhile, Goku infuses from the Super Dragon Balls, and then the Super Dragon Balls materialize again. Everything returns back to normal, and with Goku now being the owner of the Dragon Balls, we've come to an end of the series. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment on what shall I do next. Like if you liked the video. Dislike if you can't wait for the new series. Check out my Discord server in the description below. And as always, peace out.